What the documents revealed, number one, is that Angleton was actively involved in working with the Israelis to thwart John F. Kennedy's efforts to control and prevent Israel from getting a nuclear weapon. They killed Kennedy in order to help do that. But the other thing that comes out of this is that Lee Harvey Oswald was part of a program called Operation Red Cap that Angleton had set up to insert defectors into the Soviet Union in hopes of getting a penetration. Oswald was recruited into that program out of his assignment at a CIA base in Atsugi, Japan. And so the fact that some of the people have tried to speculate that, Angleton was just monitoring Oswald because he thought he was suspicious. No, he was one of his operatives, for God's sake.
Here's a factoid, Judge, that you might not know. I was an analyst for Russian foreign policy. If I wrote a memo or an estimate that mentioned Israel, it had to go to James Angleton first. He, on the operation side of the house, if it mentioned Israel, it had to be approved by James Jesus Angleton. Luckily, most of those things didn't mention Israel, or if they did, it was just an aside. But my God, the guy had control, and now we know he had 200 pages of information on Oswald on his desk before Oswald was accused of shooting John Kennedy. What we know also from that testimony is that 21 doctors at the Parkland Hospital in Dallas testified under oath that they saw the right backside of John Kennedy shot out, blown apart by a bullet that entered from the beginning. Those findings were reversed somehow at Bethesda Naval Hospital just hours later. So the testimony is very damning. The question is, what will happen to the institutions, not only the CIA, but the military, who are deeply involved in this plot? And I look for some actions now, because the evidence is out there. It's unimpeachable. It's in the hands. It's unredacted. And I applaud President Trump for finally taking the steps to make almost all of it public.
Larry, last question. Almost all of it. The President of the United States, the Director of National Intelligence, the Director of the CIA, the Attorney General of the United States, the Director of the FBI, all ordered that this stuff be revealed. Are there still documents being held back, Larry Johnson?
Yeah, the complete file on Oswald is his participation in Operation Red Cap. That was run out of eventually a site in North Carolina that's near Nags Head. That's still a classified facility. But that's one of the reasons the night that Oswald was arrested, he called a former naval intelligence officer who was essentially his cutout, his handler from that program. So, Oswald was, when his claim that he was a patsy, I think was a valid claim on his part.
Reports that say that something hasn't happened are always interesting to me, because as we know, there are known knowns. There are things we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there are some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know.